Hola, buenos días a todos.
Hello and good morning. Thanks for being here.
Bien, hoy tenemos aquí con nosotros, os traemos.
Today we are going to be sharing yet another innovation use case that makes us feel extremely proud. So we're going to be discussing about how Telefónica approaches innovation as to solve a market problem. And we have Miguel and Jorge. Miguel from Telefónica Safety and Innovation, and Jorge from Unmanned Live. So if you want to introduce yourself, Miguel, what is Telefónica Engineering and Security, and what solutions do you launch into the market? Thank you very much, Marc, for inviting us. So basically, in Telefónica Safety and Security, we are the department that works for security in-house and outside. So as our name indicates, we are engineers. We work in collaboration with companies like Unmanned Live, in collaboration with Wira, in order to push forward innovation in safety. What is Unmanned Live, Jorge? You are not drones developers or drones manufacturers, but you are related to the drone market. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having invited me. Unmanned Live is a platform that provides robots with autonomy. We can integrate any possible robot in the area of safety, critical infrastructure inspection, etc. In Unmanned Live, we combine robotics with sensors, and an ecosystem around robots, analytics, business information systems, sensors, etc., and robotics as such, right? And a very important element here is connectivity. Connectivity is what really differentiates us in the market. We are a network-first software. Our software is, let's say, powered by connectivity, and that's why we're here with Telefónica to discuss about how 5G and new connectivities help us escalate as robotics-related software. So the use case we're going to be discussing about has to do with autonomous drones for surveillance purposes. Miguel, could you please elaborate about the solution and how it's been to start working with Unmanned Live? Well, the question sounds easy, but it's not an easy one. Let me give you a little bit of a background. The drone technology is pretty new and groundbreaking. Nonetheless, we have been operating with it for a couple of years, or even 3, so we have evolved it. We realized that incorporating drones for safety purposes is a differential value, because drones have many advantages. They can fly around and thus cut down decision-making timings. It gives you a general perspective of a certain premise. You can equip them with sensors, etc. But we can pilot drones remotely thanks to 5G. Well, all the parts of the puzzle end up matching, right? So being able to pilot a drone from thousands of miles away and being able to obtain real-life information, relevant information in whatever area you are working in, is a differential value compared to any other safety solution out in the market. So drones, the platform, and connectivity are 3 pillars. Jorge, could you perhaps elaborate a little bit about what each player brings into the equation? What does Telefónica bring? What does Unmanned Live bring, etc.? Well, Telefónica has connectivity and a great deal of expertise about how to incubate products before the launch into the market. Telefónica provides us with access to a wide catalog of customers. So connectivity, expertise, customers' portfolio, the technological expertise in the area of cybersecurity. Telefónica is an ecosystem, right? So let me give you an example. The video management systems, Ian Tech. Telefónica works directly with all the systems, thus connecting us into the system and allowing us access to a very complex ecosystem. We are a small startup, so it's not easy to penetrate such ecosystems. And I believe we give back to Telefónica the agility that being a startup entails. We are quite quick when it comes to adapting, iterating, and adapting our product to the customer's needs. We are quick when it comes to integrating solutions into our platform, so I believe this is the win-win scenario. Okay, we'll then speak about the interaction between a corporate and a startup and the dynamics behind. This is an interesting point. But before that, I would like to ask you, Miguel, if we can elaborate on a point that Jorge raised, which is self-market. One of the modules that we are using is through the demo that we have in Distrito Telefónica that we'll see at the end of the session. I would like to know the following. How do customers react when you present a groundbreaking solution? Because we are speaking at the end of the day about autonomous drones safety solutions. So how does this, I mean, how do customers react when they are presented with this solution? Well, it's easy to sell. Such an innovative solution like this one is, quite easy to sell. As I said before, in the meetings with our customers, we introduce key concepts such as drones, autonomous, and 5G connectivity in real time, and they really look forward to know more about the project. I would like to underline the challenge we faced in the deployment of this solution in Distrito Telefónica. We announced the solution in the previous MWC, the one that was postponed due to COVID-19, and we wanted to launch the project on that same year. So we had to put together a solid team in collaboration with Unmanned and Telefónica, and in a short period, in 8 months, we were capable of launching the pilot, fine-tuning it according to the needs of the scenario, which is the Distrito Telefónica in Madrid, and it wasn't an easy task. So at the end of the day, we managed to reprogram the solution and launch it to the market in a very short period of time. All, in 1 year, we have been, we have operated around 80 demos with different customers, and there's still a waiting list of many customers who want to check the solution. As I said before, it's a very groundbreaking and innovative solution with clear benefits, and I believe customers understand the parts of the puzzle very easily, and they see things clearly. In projects like the one we're going to be sharing with you today, I believe there's a certain, facility to reach the market. You said before that in 8 months you launched the pilot, the solution. How did this happen? Because probably there are some other startups in the room. We'll also speak about other products that you're launching into the market, and probably there are other startups that could give you, a solution or perhaps innovation. Say I'm a startup, and I will say, wow, 8 months is quite a long time for me. But for Telefónica, this is quick. 8 months is very quick. So tell us a little bit more about how all the technical parameters were taken into account, etc., in order to deploy the final product. The good point about working with a startup is that they are very agile. So when we carry out an assessment test, well, with WIDA, you introduced us to the company. We have our own needs, and as I said before, we started working with drones. And then we presented our own idea about where technology is headed in the area of safety and security, and we improved the project, right, the pilot project, and actually it's in permanent development. So we managed to develop a product that you are going to be presenting in a few minutes that really matches what we believe are the key needs in the area of safety. Let me give you a comparison or an example. Let's say we have a perimeter fence, fixed cameras, access controls, etc. And when an alarm rings, it's very difficult to check what's going on unless you have a person there. So we thought, okay, we need to use technology with in order to be able to manage to check all the premises with one single drone. We have now drones, very autonomous ones, so that they can fly for around 40 or 45 minutes, overflying the area of interest, and all this in order to geoposition alerts so that the drone can provide us with images or other relevant informations in real time. So we are a one single manufacturer solution with groundbreaking technology. So at the end of the day, thanks to our partnership with a startup, this really helps us understand where the market is headed and adapting to the market needs. Absolutely. So it's clear that, I would like to know the opinion of you, from a startup perspective. How was it for you adapting to Telefónica working culture? It hasn't been easy. 8 months for Telefónica is a very quick period, whereas for us it's a very long period. Nonetheless, we believe in partnership. We really value the partnership with Telefónica. We knew it would be an interesting project, so it was worth it investing 8 months. 8 months incubating, obtaining, of course, the relevant permits, because the scenario where we launched the demo kit is a tricky one. Telefónica headquarters is in an urban area not far from the airport, so there were many limitations, and now we are proving that it's the future. It's where we are headed, and we have the product out there. Can we be more agile? Absolutely. Are we becoming more agile? Yes, also. Of course, when there's a barrier, there's a validation. We understand that our technology is valid for the market, and sometimes waiting is worth it. It's been a long process. Nonetheless, we understand why it took a while to get where we are. Unmanned Live has an international vocation, right? You operate in other countries, and Telefónica has a strong footprint in other countries like the UK, Germany, LATAM. So I would like to know, what's your perspective about international expansion and opportunities in other countries? Let me start by raising an important element, the product. We are incubating the product, the service, with DIS, and we have already presented the product in Germany. In December, we signed a contract with Telefónica Germany based on the solution deployed in Distrito Telefónica. So we are seeing the first outcomes. Working here in Spain means that your solution can be expanded to other countries. We are in discussion with the UK, with Ecuador. So indeed, we are going beyond the Spanish footprint, and this is an important international push. Let me insist on the fact that Unmanned Live is a robotics autonomous platform from which different applications stem, and the main application is in the area of safety. Of course, safety is a large area or a large field, and that includes, for example, situation awareness in order to gain insights about what's going on in a certain premises. In Germany, thanks to DIS, I believe it was easier to understand what happens with the platform, thanks to other use cases more focused in logistics and manufacturing, combining other robots. But of course, validation has been possible thanks to TIS and the product that we have with TIS in the area of safety. Unmanned Live, the platform, what does it do? I believe we have raised different use cases, and well, perhaps it's not humble from my side, but I believe it's the best solution out there in the market. What makes you different from other platforms of drone operations, robot synchronization, etc.? Well, there are many different elements which could be considered key differentiators. There's a lot of competition out there, there's no doubt about it, but our competitors are very much vertical oriented. So in the area of safety, there are many. Nonetheless, what makes us different is that with the same technology, we can deploy different use cases or applications. In safety, for example, with the same drone and the same solution, we can perform safety rounds, safety inspections, and situation awareness. And, well, this provides us with a great deal of flexibility. We can we can respond to different customer needs. Secondly, we are agnostic. We are hardware agnostic. So we develop software and we integrate to any robot in the market, any drone in the market. So the concept agnostic is quite wide. Let me acknowledge that we have a hardware that we use for the market, but of course when it comes to integrating with our drones, we carry out integration, and we are pioneers in network-first approach. Our platform makes us interoperable in network and in any kind of system. Today, edge computing and cloud are top liners, so we have assessed the technology which combined with 5G makes the solution even more optimal. So these three elements make us are key differentiators. Okay, let me now raise another point, the interaction between corporate and startups. But I would like to know, what is your take from Telefónica safety and security? Beyond drones, vigilance services, what other products and services do you have in the portfolio? Well, we work with Unmanned Live, which is the platform that orchestrates robotics, but we also have partners in drones manufacturing. For example, let me give you an example. A drone used to perform safety tasks in an oil and gas company. You need an ATX certificate, so we have partners that can manufacture ATF certified drones. Of course, if drones are used wrongly, they can become a threat. So we have partners that can spot and mitigate. We have MWS solutions that integrate different data sources in a centralized platform that can be integrated with Unmanned Live, not to speak about traditional safety features such as perimeter fencing, etc. So all these solutions that enhance and boost solutions, well, we are suppliers. And are you open to innovation? We are open to new partnerships. New technologies have a safety-related challenge or threat: cybersecurity, physical security, personal safety. So at the end of the day, we, of course, create technology, but we also create technology so that we can well, some people might start or have deployed platforms to optimize fleet management. Then we have an anti-malware feature. So these are three clear examples of groundbreaking technologies that didn't exist a few years ago. So we are 100% open to evolve the technology and, of course, partnering with the startups. It's been a success up to date. Jorge, why don't you tell us a little bit more about, well, you arrived hand in hand with Wayra, and Unmanned Live is a Wayra participated company. Why did you decide to join efforts with Telefónica? And yeah, how has it been for you? Well, Wire was the one that got us in touch with Telefónica. And why Telefónica? Well, we are Wire participated, as you mentioned before, so we wanted to become a platform which was powered by 5G, connectivity, interoperability, etc. So this is a parameter that told us that we had to partner with a telco based on connectivity and connected robots, because we know this is the future. So this is how we decided to start incubating our project with Telefónica today. We work at a global level. Nonetheless, we have a very solid relationship with Telefónica. We are launching a project together with Telefónica, and we designed it in partnership with Telefónica. And this is not the case with other operators. With DIS, we are developing this safety product, and we are indeed co-developing the solution with Telefónica day after day. There's a new integration, a new roadmap. So yeah, things evolve very quickly. Absolutely, thank you. So this relationship, which is becoming more, let's say, narrow, has brought you to develop other solutions. Miguel, what solutions are we talking about? Of course, we cannot give any customer's name, but it seems like we are closing contracts with others, right? Yeah, absolutely. So this joint effort has allowed us to design and co-design solutions for unattended facilities and, I don't know, so the first way we've done it is to carry out the timeline and predefine routes, or it can be used as a safety round, and yet another service, because thanks to 5G, the information is stored in Telefónica's cloud, and we can optimize the data after an analysis. This is the first operation. Then there's autonomous, let's say, flights with a pilot in a control center, in a remote control center that can operate the drone in real time. They can operate the pathway that the drone follows and the sensors. In this case, a thermic camera to better understand what's happening in the interest area. And last but not least, we are integrated in AVSML, and the drone takes off and checks what's happening by sending us alerts in the case an anomaly is detected.
Proyecto completo lo estamos desarrollando.
So this project is going to be available in a few months, and the idea would be to replicate it not only with this customer that has already shown interest in implementing the project in their facilities, but with many other customers. And this is where we are headed towards. Unmanned Live has helped a lot in this sense. It is important also to underline that this customer will help us push forward and replicate the project that we have been incubating for quite a long time. It's been a long pathway to reach a commercial contract, a yearly commercial contract, but we believe the future is unlimited for this service and products. And, well, not only with this customer, but with many others. I believe it's going to be a flagship, a technological flagship. Sometimes groundbreaking innovation is difficult to sell for the first time, right? Who is the early adopter of groundbreaking technologies? But once you have the early adopter, others see the solution, and I believe you have a very promising future. There's another element that needs to be underlined. When customers use this solution, they start spotting other use cases. Of course, drones fly, but perhaps you need an automated safety mechanism in an underground parking or garage. So we can deploy solutions in this area. We have an immense capacity to keep evolving technology, to keep pushing forward technology. To close, I would like to give a tip or a recommendation to other startups. Is it worth investing time and resources to partnering with a corporate like us, like Telefónica? And from Telefónica side, why are you still interested in looking for innovation out there in the market? Well, my advice for other startups would be, please make a clear difference between startups and large corporates like Telefónica. And even if we want to be agile, Miguel, for example, he really wants to push things forward, but you need to bear in mind that there's a corporation behind that slows down the process. So don't be frustrated. Keep working. I believe it's good to partner with different departments within one same corporate, listen to different perspectives, sell your project in different departments so that they know who you are. There's a team called Global CTIO, which is not commercially oriented, but rather much more practical oriented. So it is about understanding how to move around within a corporate and not focusing into one single person or contact person or department. I believe this has been key in our partnership with Telefónica, absolutely. And our advice from the perspective of a large corporation, I believe that it's important for startups to know where they want to get. Let me share an anecdote with you. The first meeting we had with Unmanned Live, I was presented a platform that could orchestrate drones all around the world in real time. And I was like, hey, wait. No, they had this objective in mind. It was very clear. They wanted to launch a fleet of robots from a centralized platform anywhere in the world that would send all this information in real time. So they were clear about their aims or goals, and they really spotted the mark in it. So we have helped them, of course, because at the end of the day, this collaboration is a way to support a startup to replace or redefine the commercial pathway in the field of security in this case. But at the end of the day, you need to be clear on the fact that if you bet for one line, you need to keep working down this line. Now, to conclude this session, I would like to say that from Waira, we oftentimes find ourselves in this situation, right? Startups have a groundbreaking, disruptive, global perspective, and I believe Telefónica is very much oriented towards a specific use cases. So this is a good point. Oftentimes what I keep telling startups is, listen, let's launch a pilot, let's work on this. And well, Telefónica is happy to follow specific pathways, and they clearly understand the benefits. And in the case of Unmanned Live and Telefónica, new products are developed, etc. So I believe this to be a very interesting point. Having said that, thank you very much for attending this session, and thanks for following us through streaming. We would like to close with a short video which really illustrates the demo in Distrito Telefónica. Thank you.
You could try to play it, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. You got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Bloody hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this evening. Better stand tall, ready
Muchas gracias, Miguel, Jorge.
Gracias a ti.
Hola a todos. Quedan 3 minutos para la siguiente ponencia. Si necesitan traducción, por favor, levanten la mano y se les facilitará un kit de traducción.
Hello to all. 3 minutes to go until the next presentation. If you need simultaneous translation, please raise your hand and a translation kit will be provided. Thank you.
Muy buenos días, muy buenos días.
Good morning and welcome to this fourth day of the Mobile World Congress. We're almost done, and we are all present. I want to say hello to my colleagues from NAAS and remote presence. I just wanted to acknowledge your assistance here. Thanks for being here. It's been a fantastic week with a lot of visits and a lot of interest, and we are always very happy to share our innovations. We're going to talk about innovations today, and we are going to offer you a very important thing, a collaboration with SailGP, a project that we love. It's 5G applied to extreme sports. And I suppose you all know that we've done some projects to give coverage, 5G coverage to complicated extreme sports, like, for example, the golf GP, and also that collaboration with the Riazor Stadium, and the collaboration in the Movistar team in cycling. And also communications in elite sport are essential. And it is a very complicated environment to cover. Why? Because you have to remember that we talk about very complicated environments with dozens of cameras and cameras allocated in very difficult places with water leaks, for example, and also places where there is a lot of wear. There are sensors, thousands of sensors in the competition. And if you think about all the requirements in order to give coverage and connectivity to all these events, we're talking about kilometers of cabling. And if you need mobility, normally you need dozens of frequencies because you are going to use their own networks and radio frequencies in order to broadcast all the information, and also all this infrastructure. Apart from having this big lorry on site to broadcast all the information, you need all this infrastructure, and you have a very tight time frame because you have to go from one event to the next. So our value proposal is to substitute all this. I'm trying to see the next slide. Maybe I'm running out of batteries. Oh, now it works. Great. So the idea is to substitute all these complexities, these kilometers of cabling, the big lorry, and the radio, the infrastructures of communications that you have to bring with you, to substitute it with critical 5G communications with a guaranteed quality, so that you don't bring your own infrastructure communications and you don't have to deploy kilometers of cabling, for example, in a golf course. And also edge computing. Instead of having this big lorry, this big production lorry, the compound lorry with a lot of people, a big team, you have a software in cloud. You can save a lot because you can do it remotely. And you can do this cloud production, reducing the CO2 footprint. And this is our value proposal. And to show you how we apply these technologies, we have a very cool project with SailGP. It is very recent. It was created by Larry Ellis, the founder of Oracle, and 5 times a champion of the Russell Sail Cup. And the first competition was very fast. And the director of marketing of SailGP is here to give us some details about this. The last one was in Australia. The next one is going to be in Barcelona. And I wanted to have her here. A round of applause for Victoria Aznar. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Well, apart from this, yesterday I came from Valencia and my train took 10 hours to be here. So I'm going to move to the other side. I'm going to be more comfortable. So as Juan said, this is a sail competition, but it's not just a sail competition. SailGP brings together technology, purpose, and entertainment, and I'm going to give you some details about this further on. It is just sailing catamarans that reach high speeds, 100 kilometers per hour, with national teams, 9 teams, nation against nation, like the Spanish selection of football, and we do very short races, very intense races. They are so fast, so they are very easy to follow. And one of the main characteristics is that the winner of this competition in May, and they are going to receive $1 million. Normally in sailing competitions, there are a lot of such awards. So the first pillar is technology. SailGP is focused on technology with all the different technological advances in their boat, F50. And the purpose, because it's in our DNA. SailGP is based on sustainability. Our motto is Race for the Future, so we compete for a better world, and sport can help us to do this. And then entertainment, because this is the goal of Larry Ellison, as Juan said, the founder of the competition. He wanted to democratize the sailing contest. This is why we changed the terminology. This is why we talk about kilometers and not knots. It's like the Formula One, but for boats. So these flying catamarans may sound a little difficult to understand, so I'm going to show you a video so that you understand it better.
What are you thinking? 4, 3, 2, 1.
Looks like they're gone. No, the tip of the wing is in the water.
It doesn't get any more extreme than that.
Right on it, straight over the top of Japan. And he's very close once again. We're just getting thrown out of his position there.
Still plenty to play for him. Here we go, boys.
They are coming down here in an absolute beauty of a gust.
GBR's capsized.
It's time to get up and party. Australia is the 2019 SailGP champion.
Bueno, yo creo que
So it's really impressive. I work there and I'm still impressed about it. So I'm going to give you more details about this SailGP. So the catamarans actually fly. They go very fast. These are the 9 countries that compete for the next edition. We want to have even more. We've been in 11 events in the past year. Next year, we're going to be in 14 events. And one of the main features of SailGP is that all boats are exactly the same, with the same technology, very advanced technology, and making them lighter, changing the sails, and it is all the advances are implemented in all the boats, in all the catamarans. So the important thing is the expertise of the pilots, and these boats generate a lot of data, and this is why we are with Telefónica. They are sent to the cloud, they are analyzed, and they are shared by all the teams. So they are all equal conditions, so you can double check the things that worked and the things that didn't work. But I just wanted to share some data about the different countries: New Zealand, Canada, Sweden, Spain. Here you can see the flags. Another important thing is entertainment. As I said, we focus on the broadcast because, as I said, SailGP is not broadcasted like a regatta. We have specific angles that we can reach using different cameras. It's like you were actually sailing the boat. So we have the GoPro cameras. It's like you were one of the athletes, one of the pilots. I wanted to bring a 3D glasses here so that you could understand it better, but I couldn't bring them. So this makes... Well, this means that we have received a lot of awards, and we can broadcast it in more than 180 territories all over the world. And for a sail competition is very impressive. So we are growing exponentially. And another important point is the purpose, the sustainability, because SailGP is the first sportive entity that we are climate positive. So we are compensating, we are offsetting our carbon footprint. We measure everything we produce. We take measures to reduce our footprint, and we offset our footprint. And this means that our events are positive, climate positive and carbon positive, and it means that also we don't use single-use products and goods. We are partners with companies that follow the same values, and this means that we are going to achieve our goal. We will be able to receive our carbon footprint up to 50% by 2050. We have approximately 25,000 supporters attending our events in Cadiz. Last September, we had 98,000 people during the weekend. It's like having the Camp Nou stadium giving their support to a sail competition. It was the best event in the history of SailGP. And this part of sustainability cannot be understood without the Impact League. I will give you more details about this. It is a parallel podium. It's a parallel competition in which all the teams want to win this Impact League. So we have the Water League and we have the Impact League. So there are some criteria. We have 10 criteria actually right now. The accommodation, the trips, the strategy, the food, and also the waste that we produce. All these different measures in order to reduce the carbon footprint and be more sustainable. And here you can see a slide that summarizes it all. It's very important to us to focus on this. The technology is applied to the sport, the purpose, and the entertainment, the three pillars, and this summarizes this Impact League. So when we get to an event, we have these four pillars, the development of the Impact League. We measure of the teams, and we want them to be sustainable. We have the Inspire program, which is fantastic, and it allows us to collaborate with the different communities in the places where we are. We do activities with children, children who want to learn how to sail. We have sailing based in Cadiz, and we have the inspired learning so that they can learn professions and they are trained in sailing fields, and it really works. It works really well. And then we have the Women's Pathway program, everything related to women, boosting this equality in sail, because in the past it was characterized by men. So there is always a woman in all the teams with different roles. They are participating in the competition. They also need to be trained, and we want to reach a balance. And also a new initiative that we started in the present edition, Champions for Change. And we are organizing speeches so that people get to know what we are doing. And we do partnerships with the partners in the Race for the Future. We invite relevant famous people, and also because we want to start new initiatives. And I will give you back the floor briefly, Juan. So we do this all over the world. This is our calendar for the next season. There are some events that are going to be changed, but basically, there are going to be 14 cities, iconic cities all over the world. One of them is in Spain, Cadiz, and I wish it can be organized also in Barcelona in the near future. And so we are going to New Zealand in a couple of weeks, and then we will go to San Francisco to the final. And then in June, we are going to start the next season in Chicago. So we've been developing this pilot project in Cadiz with Telefónica, and we are going to do it again next year. But everything related to technology is crucial, because we want to bring this competition all over the world, and it wouldn't be possible without technology. And Juan is going to give you more information about the 5G. Thank you very much, Victoria. So you already know the interesting part, and now my part, which is not as interesting. So last year, well, they said, well, we have a competition in Cadiz, so let's do something together. So we love drones a lot, so we said, come on, in the Cadiz competition, there will be a specific 5G coverage, but a standalone 5G. It is the 5G of the future. And we are going to reserve some resources for the drones, because as Victoria said, 85,000 people, you said? Yeah, no, 98,000. It's growing. So we have to guarantee the resources because people use a lot of network. So we have reserved some resources so that the drones could broadcast on real time. So there is a coverage here at the top. You can see the different lorries that give us the temporary coverage. It was the first time in the world where we had a mobile unit for a 5G SA coverage. So it goes in 3,500 megahertz in the Parque Genovés area, and so it is a devoted slice focusing on this specific area. And we had 3 drones to give video coverage. And we did it 2 years ago in the open golf competition. But the video from the drone to the remote of the drone, it was using a Wi-Fi. And then we put it in a video codifying unit and through 5G, but the Wi-Fi part didn't work. So I said we are going to put the encoder inside the drone. So the 3 drones had this encoder. And we did it to cover different areas. These are just some of the regions, different zones. One of the drones in the Detour region, and then the other 2 in this other region. The FPV goes 100 kilometers per hour. Before the record was 98 kilometers per hour. It is really a lot, and not for a highway, but for a boat is really a lot because they do their detours as well. So what did we have? So we have the drones, we had a 5G coverage, and with the collaboration of Nokia. And then we brought all this to the software production center, in an edge computing center. And then from there to the London studios to do the broadcasting. So everything was ready. We wanted to test it. Adrian, he's a pilot of high-velocity drones. And we asked him to test the drone. And we'll see what happened in the next video.
Ahí está el otro dron.
Here you can see the other drone, which is quieter.
Como veis,
So as you can see, pixelation is stopping. So we said, what's going on? Angel, bring me the drone, please. Juanjo, Danny, co-sufferers in the last minute changes. So this is the drone. It can reach velocities of 100 kilometers per hour. So we give coverage from the side of the lorry. And when it reaches top velocity, top speed, it turns upside down. So the coverage is not received because of this metal plate at the bottom. Here at the top, we can see the camera that feeds the 5G information. So if you don't receive it, then you will not be able to see it. So I asked Adrian, so what is the speed? And he said, so it depends on the battery. So it depends on, the speed depends on the battery. And also the coverage was blocked if it was going too fast. And this is our freaky slide of the presentation, so to say. So in the Congress, you've seen this massive MIMO, the active antenna. And if you take any of the 5G antennae that there are in the Hall 3, you will see inside these tiny antennae, 32 per 32. And why? Because in the different terminals, there are small antennae so that they can use the broadband without interferences. And here there are two parts. We have the antenna. I'm receiving the signal from this side or from this side. These antennae go to this side. And then the cellulars also need to think because they receive different beams of information. So Adrian is the pilot of our drone, 100 kilometers per hour, and then the antenna says you have to be slower. And we use it for high speeds, but also for trains. And drones behave in a specific way. So this device that is trying to assess which beam I am using for the connection, and then the optimization team decided to use just one beam. So it's good to keep on trying different things. You have to test a lot of things and change a lot of things and modify a lot of things. So next video, please.
A ver qué pasa. Ahí llega donde está el camión de cobertura.
Here you can see the coverage lorry with the antennae. Now it's going down. Now it's not stopping. There were no the same problems as before. So we tried again, we tested again, and I was in another room in the University of Cadiz where I could see all the videos, and we could coordinate with the helicopter and everybody in situ, and then you could see the images from all the different drones, and then the helicopter could be landing, and the police bodies were there also to double-check the security and to guarantee the security. So we wanted to change the zoom, and I was also in touch with the person in London. So we wanted to check some images from the audience. Next video, please. So before and after the competition, they wanted to see the audience, the public. And this is what we wanted to see. And it's the next video that we'll see in a minute. It's not my fault if my presentation takes longer. It's really worth it to see the great amount of people that were there. Yeah. And also, it's a nice take that allows you to see the audience. Well, it's not very clear, but then he said it's not. He said it was because of the low latency, and but you could see the image and how the videos are moving. But you see, this person is, well, the image is a little bumpy, actually, and it causes eye fatigue in people. So the 5G part was very good, but the cameras inside the drones cannot be compared to a big focus in a camera in a helicopter. So the videos are not compressed, for example. So we had to improve the videos inside the drones. So it's not only that communications, but also the case studies. So we are a little bit frustrated because of the situation and the bumpy images, and we were having a very interesting conversation. Warren Jones, the CTO, and that's you, Victoria, you're back, and someone was telling me, I have a 5G router in my boat. What do you mean? Yes, that's for sure. Believe me. So I asked Victoria, why do you have a 5G router in your boat? Yes, we do. This is the big amount of data that we analyze in the SailGP boat. And Mr. Warren said that there are 48 million demands of information during one single race. And here you can see all these figures to 140,000 data points for SailGP fleet and so on and so forth. So why do we need to compile of this data in a competition? Because they can share this data between all the teams, because all this data are used for many things. They feed the broadcast on the one hand, and the app that we have on real time, and also all the maneuvers and all the strategies of the teams. So on real time, these data are sent to the teams, and then in the evening, the analytics team analyze all this data so that they can improve the situation. For example, the Australian team has won the race. Why they were so fast? What did they do? The speeds, and this allows them to improve, because there's always room for improvement. And our win prima, and you can see the athlete, each one has a different position, and they move from one side to the other side of the boat. The wind trimmer is the one managing the sail, the main sail. And in Sydney, they realized that when the boat was detouring, they were going too slow. And their speed was different from the speed of other boats. So they could implement this information and they could improve. And this happens with the heights of the foils. This allows them to lift the catamaran. So they analyze all this in order to make better decisions. So data are really important. Normally, these data are sent through 4G, but now we are going to start using 5G. So this allows everything to be faster, and the latency is lower, and this allows for a real-time compilation of data. This is how we analyze the data. This is a room full of a lot of screens where they can analyze all the data, and this video will allow you to see how this is translated into reality. If we can see the video.
Technologically advanced sporting properties, SailGP allows fans to view and interrogate live data during racing.
94 kilometers an hour, incredible speeds.
The same data which is used by our engineers and designers to push the boundaries of speed on the racecourse in the identical one-design F50 catamaran. Join SailGP in the race for the future, because our race is your race.
Bueno, es muy corto como veis, pero quería...
So it's a short video, but I just wanted you to see it so that you could see how this is implemented in reality. And there was this girl in front of the screen saying the competition. It is also very important in data, because everything is broadcasted on real time, and also through the application. So you can follow the situation of the boat and the different angle when they detour, the speed. You can analyze everything, and you can see it in your own board, and you can see what the teams are doing. And SailGP has created a DAO team that is going to be managed by the supporters. If you want to participate in an active way, NFTs also, and you can participate with a team. You can join a team, actually. So it is interesting to know it, because the technology is amazing, and also putting together sports purpose and entertaining makes us really feel passionate. And the main message I wanted to convey here is that after this conversation with Mr. Warren, we said, so we are going to use a SIM Movistar card, and you can put it in the router in this boat of the Spanish team, the Victoria catamaran, and then we'll see what's going on. So we're very happy because we were talking about people who said that the video was not very good, and this video was improved just to see how important this is for all of them. These routers that they have use 4 and 5 connectivities, and you use redundant, and they are checking for the best connectivity, satellite, land coverage, private network sometimes, radio, and they also use 5G. And then Warren said, let's use 5G all along. Just to give you an idea, 98,000 people in the audience, and the lorry that is broadcasting using NSA, and also coverage of 5G standalone, and then also for the drones and for the boats, so we could guarantee the quality in these critical services. And we finished the project very happy. They were all very happy, and we are still collaborating. And this is a summary of this collaboration. I'm going to show a video, the last video.
Primera vez el 5G de Telefónica para la retransmisión mediante drones del Gran Premio de Cádiz.
SailGP es la competición de catamaranes voladores más rápidos, casi diríamos, del mundo, capaces de alcanzar 100 km por hora. Es una competición apasionante donde la tecnología, el entretenimiento y el propósito están muy vinculados. La grabación y retransmisión de este tipo de carreras ha supuesto un reto espectacular. La Telefónica es un referente a nivel mundial con el desarrollo de la tecnología 5G. El piloto que estamos trabajando con Telefónica consiste en poner 3 drones en el campo de regatas, en la zona del Race Village, y por un corredor que vamos a establecer para que puedan seguir la velocidad a la que van estos barcos.
At SailGP, we're extremely lucky to have the F50, which is the catamaran which the sailing teams compete with. I call this an extreme IoT device. We have huge amounts of information and data coming off the F50s, and we need to get that information around the world as quick as possible. So partnering with Telefónica to be able to get that information quick as possible back to the SailGP viewer is really important to us.
Hemos desplegado por primera vez una unidad móvil con cobertura 5G SA o Standalone, que es la siguiente generación de redes 5G. Las redes 5G SA tienen tecnologías como Network Slicing, están pensadas para garantizar el ancho de banda o la latencia de los servicios críticos para que funcionen siempre. La competición de SailGP es una competición espectacular a la que asisten miles de espectadores. En este contexto es necesario que la red móvil garantice el ancho de banda para servicios críticos como son la retransmisión de televisión en directo. Y es aquí donde la tecnología 5G se encaja a la perfección.
Para asegurar una cobertura completa de la acción, hemos desplegado 3 tipos de drones completamente diferentes para cubrir la salida, la llegada y los impresionantes giros. Para las rectas, donde los barcos alcanzan su máxima velocidad, hemos usado un dron de competición controlado por un piloto de carreras mediante unas gafas FPV. Para ello, hemos embarcado un codificador 5G en cada dron que envía las imágenes en tiempo real a través de las antenas que hemos desplegado específicamente para este evento apuntando hacia el mar. Estos flujos de vídeo llegan a un servidor de realización situado en el Edge Computing de Telefónica para reducir la latencia al mínimo posible. Desde allí se ponen ya a disposición del Centro Global de Producción de la competición. Es la primera vez que se cubre un evento tan complicado como este con drones 5G, por lo que este proyecto va a ser un referente en este aspecto.
La tecnología de los drones lo que permite es que tengamos una visión muchísimo más global y luego además consigamos disminuir nuestra huella de carbono, que es uno de los objetivos de la competición. La tecnología 5G está suponiendo una revolución en nuestra competición.
Bueno, pues llegado este momento.
So now, I don't know if there are any questions from the audience, any concerns or remarks. since me and Victoria are here. I know you're all shy, but if you have any questions, just feel free. And if not, I wanted to thank Victoria for being here. She had to go to Madrid before coming to Barcelona. Thanks for the big detour. And thanks for you in the audience for being here. Thanks for being there in the streaming, and see you next year, the centenary of Telefónica.